Today I'm going to be using the normal banana bread recipe that I use. It's one of my old boss's recipes, but the oven decided to break, so I'm going to try it in the air fryer and see how it goes. I've never baked anything in an air fryer, so I thought I've already measured half the stuff out. Maybe I'll give it a go. Lay down a tea towel to help the bowl keep still. So this recipe is a wet to dry recipe, so it's quite a simple one. I'm going to start off with the dry ingredients. So you want this in a slightly bigger bowl because we're going to be adding the wet ingredients to this. Starting off with plain flour, then we need to add our baking powder, bicarb, and a pinch of salt. So I'm just going to mix this all around until everything gets evenly distributed throughout. And that's all good, so I'm going to put this to the side. So now it's time for the wet ingredients. We're going to be doing this in a separate bowl, starting off with some light brown sugar. And then I'm going to add in the eggs. And then it's time for oil. So you want to use like a neutral flavoured oil, so sunflower or vegetable work really well. I would avoid olive oil. And then vanilla. I like it quite vanilla-y, so I'm going to be quite generous with this. And then next is sour cream. And finally it's the bananas. So I think it's what would be called smashed these instead of mashed these. So what I've done, I've mashed it with a fork, however I've left it a little bit lumpy. I'm hoping you can see it kind of looks like apple puree. Adding that in. And also with bananas, you want them to be very ripe with baking. It means they're sweeter, they've got more flavour. It's time to mix this up until it all comes together. So now I'm just going to grab the dry ingredients and then pour on the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients. And with this, we don't want to whisk it too much. So you really just want to whisk it in until there's no more streaks of flour. Stop there. That looks all good, so I'll just clear everything. I'm just going to move this over and then I'm going to grab the air fryer pods. I don't know what they're called. So I did look online and it did say to preheat these, and then I've just made like little foil nests to go in. So unfortunately none of my tins fit in these, so I've had to try and make do. I always forget something, and in this case it's chocolate chips. This is optional, you don't need to do it, so I'm just going to fold in these chocolate chips. Okay, now the chocolate chips are in the banana batter. I'm just going to split it between the two air fry cases. I'm going to bake these for 160 for about 20-25 minutes. So these are going to go in, and fingers crossed they will work out. So I got them out of the air fryer and I've left them to cool. I don't think it was quite the success that I was hoping. This is what one of them looks like. As you can see, it looks very messy. And I've cut it down the middle to see if it's cooked, and that's what it looks like. It's still slightly underdone, but not too much. So yeah, there's the slice that I've cut. It looks alright. Where I didn't put it in a tin, you can see like the crusty bit on top, and then the bottom bit looks really soft. It is slightly underdone, but the taste is still there. I don't know whether I'd do it again in the air fryer or not. Part of baking is experimenting, see what works, see what doesn't work. So this wasn't quite the success that I was hoping for, but I'm still going to eat it. This recipe is a really good recipe. Unfortunately, it didn't work in the air fryer. Normally I pair this recipe with a brown butter icing, so when the oven's fixed, I will be doing it properly and then with the brown butter icing because it is really delicious.